Good morning. This meeting of the Blair County Board of Commissioners will come to order. We'll begin with a moment of silent reflection, after which we'll stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. How are we doing with the technology this morning?
Oh, just lovely, sir. I hope you can sense the sarcasm in my voice.
I can.
If there's anyone joining us remotely on the phone, if you could please state your name for the record.
Mark Taylor.
Good morning, Mark. Thank you. Is there anyone else joining us remotely at this time? Good. Not hearing anyone else. That is roll with Mark Taylor joining us.
Okay, thank you very much, Nicole. Item 5 on the agenda, you'll see the schedule of upcoming meetings. Turn item 6 over to Nicole.
Yes, thank you. Yesterday at 10 o'clock, the 3 commissioners, Assistant County Administrator, and myself met with the commissioners to discuss one open position in the county in an executive session. Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioners received drafts of the June 27th board meeting. Is there a motion to approve those minutes?
Mr. Webster, I'll make the motion.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
In favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. They are approved, and we'll move.
Recording has started.
How timely. And we'll move on to item 8 and ask for any public comment at this time. Right. Hearing none. Commissioner comments. Commissioner Webster.
Thank you. Good morning, everybody. As you can see, we're enjoying a wonderful summer, and I just want to remind you that we have great places here in the county to visit. Fort Roberdeau has been really busy, and there's a lot of good things going on down there. Valley View Park, the pavilion is being built, and it'll be done hopefully by the end of the summer. But there's lots of other places there at the park to walk, play, and enjoy. And so I hope that you're all enjoying the summertime and all of our wonderful county assets. Thanks.
Thank you. Commissioner Burke.
Nothing from me.
I just want to share that we did receive word in the early part of July here on our 2022 Marcellus Shale distributions from the impact fee. And the good news was that we are going to get a record amount actually this time. This is for, like I said, the year 2022. The amount is going to be $173,729, which is great news, particularly after we had several years, particularly back in 2021, we only got just under 86,000 due to the limited drilling at that point in time and what was extracted. People often wonder what that money is used for, and there's some specific uses in the Act, Act 13, among them that we use them for in our county. The chief one is for our farmland preservation program, by which we're able to leverage significant other money from the state by using the goodly portions of this. We've also used it in the past for matches for DCNR grants, to pay for our pictometry service for GIS, also to help funding and relieve the general fund a little on the conservation district. So it's been very helpful. That's the good news. The bad news is this: at the same time, we received the Independent Fiscal Office's projections for 2023 fees, and they're calling for a 30% decrease. So or giveth or taketh away. And so that will be distributed next year in 2024. Move on at this point in time to the consent agenda. Nicole.
Thank you. Today's consent agenda is resolution number 316 for your consideration. It's the payment of 3 warrant lists as outlined in item A. That does include payments to Blair Senior Services in the total amount of $297,778. It's the ratification of the following 15 warrant lists as outlined in your agenda in item B. It's it's ratification of total payroll for the check dated June 30th in the total amount of $832,984.13. It's budget transfers in items D, E, F, G, H, I, and J. It's requesting a payment for invoices for the contractor's applications number 6 and 7 for Francis J. Palo in the amounts of $133,366.60 and $76,716.60 respectively. That is for the Box Culvert Group or bridges 87, 88, 89, and 92 on County Road 101. It's requesting payment of the 2 contractors' applications. Contract payment 1 for John Clark Excavating in the amount of $101,339.59, and Stelco's invoice 1 in the amount of $27,238.17. That is payments for the Valley View Park Amphitheater project. It's requesting an approval for a Penn State student intern for Judge Bernard's Chambers, Jasmine McCulley, for the period of August 21st, 2023 through December 1st, 2023 for 200 hours. This internship is for credit only and at no cost to the county. It's requesting approval for the reappointments of Bruce R. Erb and Paul Query to the Blair Health Choices Board of Directors for the period of July 1st, 2023 through July 1st, 2026. It's resignations and employment status changes as outlined in your agenda in item O and P, respectively.
Thank you, Nicole. Is there a motion to approve the consent agenda?
Commissioner Webster, so moved.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
Those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye.
I'm an aye with an abstention for payment to Blair Senior Services.
Thank you. The consent agenda is approved with the extension noted, and we will move on to item 11, staff reports and special business, and we're going to begin with Blair Senior Services, and we're joined by Derek Flagg today. And Derek, if you can just come to the mic, that'd be great. Good.
Hi, Derek Flagg from Blair Senior Services, and we're requesting approval of a contract for medical assistance transportation. There's actually 2 different contracts there. One is the Blair Senior Services in the county, and the other one is the county with DHS. The Medical Assistance Transportation Program provides transportation services to eligible participants, to doctor's appointments, items such as that. And as always, there's no cost for the transportation to the actual consumers themselves. Any questions or?
No, again, we're
I think we have a
grateful for the relationship that exists between us and Blair Senior Services and for the services that your agency provides. I am going to ask the commissioners to take action on these both of these matters today. We actually have several things we're going to take care of today due to a possible formal on some specific issues on Thursday. So is there a motion? Are there any questions I should ask? Any questions for Derek? We'll do these in separate motions, so we'll ask for on item A, but that's the contract between the county and Blair Senior Services. Is there a motion?
Commissioner Webster, I'll make the motion that we approve the contract between the County of Blair and Blair Senior Services.
Is there a second?
I will second.
Is there any other discussion? In favor of the motion, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
I'm abstaining. So I don't, was I supposed to second if I'm abstaining? I do on the consent agenda, but.
I can substitute my second if that would be. Okay, let's do that. Thank you.
thank you.
And we'll take care of the second item as well at this time, which is the agreement between County and Blair Senior Services. Again, this is actually the one that I believe. Is there a motion? The first is
We do have it incorrect on the agenda. Let me just double check that.
This is, I believe the DHS one is the one.
The first one should be the agreement between the county and DHS. The second one,
Yeah,
the
it
order doesn't
so we're
matter,
just
but
gonna
it says
say
the
at this
same
time,
thing
we're gonna
on
have
both of
to ask
them.
for one that, I'm just for, in terms of the wording, that. Between the county.
Yes. So the grant agreement one is the DHS one. Okay.
With that change as noted, is there a motion to approve that grant agreement?
Commissioner Webster, I'll make the motion that we approve the grant agreement with DHS regarding the County of Blair and Blair Senior Services.
Second. Well, I think, because that doesn't, Blair Senior Services isn't a
Yeah.
party.
Yeah. Also, any other discussion? In favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Approved. Thank you, Derek.
Thank you very much.
Ballpark improvement
Yep,
fund, or you-
one, I am going to take that one, and I'm going to just ask for your consideration in moving that to Thursday. We are still working on that slightly. A few edits that needs to go to Thursday's agenda
Okey-doke.
with no discussion today.
Thank you very much, and we'll move on to item C, Department of Emergency Services. And Mark, you're joining us, I believe, on the phone. Are you still with us?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, I'm still with you. Good morning. Requesting approval of a quote received from Compliance Associates, Inc., doing business as CAI, Inc., for the design, programming, facilitation of one County of Blair tabletop exercise in 2023 regarding the transportation of hazardous materials in the total amount of $7,200. $5,760 of that comes from our HMEP grant, and the balance $1,440 comes from LEPC grant. This is for our Transcare Railroad exercise, which will be held on August 2nd at the Blair County Convention Center.
Any questions for Mark? Mark, we'll move that on to Thursday's business agenda. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Okay. From the prison deputy, Warden Whitesell.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Today we're requesting approval of a memorandum of understanding between the Cambria County Prison and the County of Blair for temporary housing of juvenile male inmates that are criminally charged and legally detained by Blair County at the rate of $150 per day per juvenile. If for some reason we would need to use the Cambria County staff to transport an inmate somewhere, it would be $37.83 per hour per 2 officers. That would probably be an extraordinary case. We would send our officers.
Sorry, I had asked a question yesterday at the administrative meeting in terms of solicitor review and approval. I understand that has been received. Are there other questions for Deputy Warden Whitesell at this time? We'll move that to Thursday's agenda.
Thank you.
Children, Youth, and Families. Mindy Foster, our most regular attendee, I think, or at least presenter.
Good morning. I have a lot for you today. All right. We're requesting approval of a purchase of service agreement between the County of Blair on behalf of Blair County Children, Youth, and Families and E.V. Black Attorneys, LLC, for legal representation, both consultative and court appearances at the rate of $120 per hour for the period of July 1st, 2023 through June 30th, 2024.
I'll just make a note on this one that the prior year's purchase of service agreement for E.V. Black was reviewed by Attorney Finelli, Conflict Counsel for Blair County. No changes were made this year, so it did not go through that Conflict Counsel check, but the agreement also didn't change. There was no sense sending it to him and incurring that fee.
Thank you, Nicole. Any other questions from Mindy on this?
Next,
Uh,
requesting approval of 2 agreements for payment of legal services between the County of Blair on behalf of Blair County Children, Youth, and Families and Brian Grable, Esquire, and Ashley Passarello, Esquire, for legal services for all children to which the attorney is assigned pursuant to the aforementioned court order at the rate of $85 per hour for the period of July 1st, 2023 through June 30th, 2024.
Standard questions?
All right, requesting approval of fiscal year 23-24 renewal agreement for payment of legal services between the County of Blair, Blair County Children, Youth, and Families, and for Stoken, Huff, Karmansky, and Nagel.
And this one specifically is calling out Attorney Marianne Probst and Attorney Tyler Rolls as the law firm's representatives for children's cases, guardian ad litem services.
Thank you. Anything?
Good. Requesting approval of fiscal year 23-24 renewal service agreement and HIPAA business associate agreement between the County of Blair, Blair County Children, Youth, and Families, and Dr. Terry O'Hara, PhD. We're good?
Yep.
Okay. Requesting approval of fiscal year 22-23 renewal purchase of service agreement and HIPAA business associate agreement between the County of Blair, Blair County Children, Youth, and Families, and Bethana Incorporated.
Run through it. We'll just ask
Okay.
the commissioners if they have any questions. How's that?
Requesting approval of fiscal year 22-23 renewal purchase of service agreement and HIPAA business associate agreement between the County of Blair, Blair County Children, Youth, and Families, and City Missions Livingstones Incorporated. And the last one, requesting approval to ratify the enrollment into an annual contract between the County of Blair, Blair County Children, Youth, and Families, and Survey Monkey. All right, thank
We'll
you.
come all Thursday. Thank you very much. Item F for Court Administration, and we're joined by District Court Administrator Nicole Smith.
Good morning. First item, we're requesting approval of a quote received from GovConnection, Inc. for 6 polycoms for the MDJ offices in a total amount of $13,829.46. The AOPC will reimburse this project in the total amount of $13,093.46. I don't believe I submitted it with the package, but I do have the email confirmation from AOPC about that reimbursement that I can provide.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, that had been noted yesterday, so that would be great if you can call it.
Yes, I can do that.
Super. Other questions for Nicole on that first side?
Second item, requesting approval of service agreement with Spanish-speaking interpreter Maribel Pintado Esquiet for Spanish-speaking litigants per the fee schedule below. Did you need me to go through those amounts?
Just out of curiosity, have you found that the courts need interpreter services often or kind of infrequently or just kind of?
So from the Language Access Department of AOPC, there are certain requirements that we have to meet. And Ms. Maribel is on the certified roster provided by the AOPC. And these are the rates that are set by that organization, which we're required to comply with.
So I'm sorry, I must not have been clear. My question was, do you find you need the services often?
For Spanish-speaking litigants, there I would say there is a rise in needing those services, yes.
That'd be like, I guess, in terms of times during the year.
I wouldn't want to guess for you, but I do keep record of every time we've used
You
them.
can share that with us out of curiosity. We hear some counties, obviously, that are having that. Larger counties full-time, obviously, but more and more is our, and we've seen from our census figures that our Hispanic population in Blair County is growing.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to, again, speculate the number, but I would say at least every month we are in need of services for any type of hearing at the MDJ office that are for preliminary call for jury selection. So, but I can get those numbers to you.
Just out of curiosity.
Sure.
Thank you.
Yeah. Any other questions?
Move that to Thursday's agenda then. Nicole, thank you.
Thank you.
Item G, Human Resources Director, Ms. Weiser.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm here for your info and approval of what at this point has been a union ratified contract for what will become known as SEIU Custodial Highway Maintenance. It is one of the changes is they asked to include custodial since they are, after all, a portion of that unit. So I'll just review what some of the more significant changes are. You were provided with the red line contract and other information with the agenda. So significant would start that with holidays, which was Article 5.3. We had omitted text that previously allowed folks that if they worked the holiday, they could choose to bank the holiday and what would serve as comp time to be taken later or get paid for that. And with county's continuous effort to eliminate comp time as possible, that one was an obvious target. So at this point, should you work the holiday, you are getting paid. There is no more ability to bank that to take later. Administratively, that gets cumbersome anyway. So that has been removed. Under leaves of absence, we added clarification that healthcare/medical benefits will end upon completion of 6 months of leave inclusive of FMLA leave. That's just adding consistency across all of the other contracts that's in there, and folks need to be aware that that's how that works. If it's not in print, people don't know, hence it's in print. With vacation, we did add some text to clarify again that employees receive vacation allotment annually on January 1. Should that same calendar year they hit an anniversary milestone of years of service, they're going to get a prorated calculation in January for X number of months at the prior earning tier and X number of months for the increased earning tier. We also used to have folks actually earn on the anniversary date. That's really cumbersome in Munis and for payroll to be handling. You can imagine what are hundreds of different anniversary dates, whether it's in this contract or not. So we continue to try to move things to a calendar year, just accommodating the anniversary date when you're doing the calculation once and done. Also in vacation, we did add a means for employees to earn vacation time in the year of hire. That didn't used to exist, and frankly, that's not competitive, so that was something that was offered and of course accepted. And that is then that following the successful completion of a probationary period, employees with less than 1 year of continuous service shall be credited with 24 hours of vacation if hired before June 1. Employees hired on or after June 1 and before October 1 will be credited with 16 hours of vacation following successful completion of the probationary period. And employees hired on or after October 1 do not get any vacation in the year of hire, but I think that's pretty standard. We also added language when you're awarding in January that is helpful for people to know that obviously should you leave our employment having taken more vacation than you earned, you will owe us that, so that language is included as well. Wages has a little bit different structure that we're evolving towards. I'll start with that certainly in terms of what would be the across-the-board increase that people are accustomed to for each of the 3 years of the contract. Bargaining unit members with 1 or more years of continuous service in the unit as of 1/1/23 will have 45 cents an hour added to base on the first full pay period after 1/1/23. If you were a bargaining unit member with less than 1 year of continuous service in the unit as of, again, 1/1/23, you get a 1.5% increase for the first full pay period after 1/1/23. Across the board increase for the first full pay period after 1/1/24 will be 2.5%, and for the first full pay period after 1/1/25, it's 2.25%. Where this unit probably saw the most significant change was in the starting wages. And that's really because for as long as I have worked at county, they've had a setup in that you come in the door at one rate and at the 1 year anniversary, you increase. The last two contracts, so for a total of 6 years, the in-the-door rate did not move while the one-year rate did. That ended up with a massive difference between in-the-door and one-year rate. And it really wasn't serving its purpose because I couldn't get people in the door. They weren't waiting for the one-year time period. That really wasn't helpful. So through a lot of back and forth and calculations, the union did agree that rates will go up rather significantly in 2023, and that's going to move so that come 2025, we don't have two different rates. What you come in the door with is what you come in the door with. So, for instance, the starting rate for auto mechanic in 2023 will be $19.35. It's currently $17.20. For carpenter, it's $18.48. It's currently $16.43. For custodian, it will be $16.22. It's currently $14.42. For laborer, it will go to $17.63. It's currently $15.67. For any of the maintenance tech positions, so maintenance tech, welder, painter, plumber, electrician, I think that's all of them. If I forgot one, I'm sorry. Carpenter, I think, same thing. It's $18.48 in 2023, up from $16.43. And the vector control specialist is the same, up to $18.48 from $16.43. They will still have a one-year increase in 2023, anyone who would hit that milestone. And that's really trying to split the difference between where the one-year rate is now and where that start is in the door, so that we continue to lessen the gap with the 3-year move so that come 2025, you're at what the one-year rate currently is. So for instance, auto mechanic will go up in 2024 again to $20.45, carpenter, maintenance tech, vector control to $19.52, custodian to $16.81, and laborer to $18.54. And then come 2025, I don't have a one-year rate. My starts equal the one-year rate as it is now, and was, I should say, in 2022. So that auto mechanic will start at $21.54, carpenter, maintenance tech, vector control will start at $20.56, custodian at $17.39, laborer at $19.45. The wage section also includes a one-time increase of 25 cents an hour to base for any position which the county requires an accreditation license as part of the job description. That would be our certified welder and the CDLA holders, again, job required. You could be a custodian, have a CDLA, you aren't eligible because it's not a job requirement. If you already got the 25 cents that was in the initial year of the expired contract, you do not get it again now. Hospital and medical insurance increased by what has become a standard $16 cost share per month per employee per enrollment level, and that's for all 3 years of the contract. For FMLA, we removed separate text regarding a policy and merely referenced the county policy so that there's not that strange duplication or confusion as to which one do I go by. This unit was very interested in having some sort of pandemic leave. We did add it to match exactly what the prison has, in that if you have documented need to be off related to COVID, and it specifies in the contract language what equals qualifying pandemic leave, be it COVID or the next one that rolls in off the prairie, then it explains that you can have 5 paid days per rolling calendar year. And those are the biggies. That is it. Do you have any questions?
It's been our practice, because of the fact this is retroactive, I'm going to go ahead and make a motion today that that we approve the ratified CBA with SEIU, Custodial Highway Maintenance. Is there a second to that motion?
Commissioner Wood.
I'll second.
Is there any other discussion? In favor of the motion, please start by saying aye. Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you, Catherine. Move on to item H, social services, and our development grants coordinator, Trina Elvig. Morning,
Morning.
Trina.
Good morning. We're requesting approval to amend a previously approved resolution, number 433 of 2022. That resolution was to approve and submit the fiscal year 2022 CDBG application to the Commonwealth Department of Community and Economic Development. When I was preparing the application, the instructions was to do the resolution verbatim. Obviously, I missed that, so I apologize. So the additional, what we're adding is in a paragraph that's required. They're holding my 22 contract cost days until we do. They wanted me to go back and actually add this to all the OBO's resolutions. We kind of beat them down, and we're trying to get this 22 contract. If CDBG funds are deemed by PA-DCED to be expended on ineligible program costs or do not meet a national objective, Blair County agrees to repay the portion deemed ineligible from non-federal resources. That's pretty common language. So it's actually in our contract. But it's in our resolution now. So we'll add that so we don't miss that on 2023.
Questions for Trina?
Yep, thanks.
Item 2022 annual audit. Lindsay Dempsey, Finance Director.
We are requesting approval to extend Zelenkowski Axelrod's contract to complete the 2022 county audit from June 30th to July 31st.
I've had the opportunity to sit in on most of the meetings with the auditors, larger general meetings, and I think the audit has gone, safe to say the audit's gone relatively smoothly, particularly smoothly considering it's the first time. I know both Finance Director Dempsey and Controller Stickle and their staff have been working very closely on that, and so I'm going to make the motion at this time that we approve that request to extend the deadline until July 31st. Is there a second?
Mr. Webster, second.
Any questions for Lindsay? In favor of the motion, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Thank you, Lindsay. Item J, Nicole.
Thank you. We're requesting for Bridge 70, which is part of the roadmap project. It's the second bridge that PennDOT has funded as part of the $2 million roadmap funding. This extension for parts 7 and 8, which are construction and also the final phase of construction inspection, be extended through the contract expiration date from October 27th, 2023 through April 27th, 2024. I don't necessarily think we'll need through April 27th, but a 6 month is standard for PennDOT. The construction time period, and generally speaking, construction tends to run through November. So we really just need another couple weeks, but the 6 month extension is what PennDOT usually defaults to. So we're just asking for approvals of Part 7 and 8 to be extended to April 27th, 2024.
Any questions for Nicole? Would that then Thursday's agenda? And item K, Allison.
Hello.
Good morning, Allison.
So for my first item here, I'm just requesting approval of a letter of support for the submission of an application for funding under Federal Fiscal Year 23-24 Community Traffic Safety Project Agreement by the Cambria County Allegheny Regional Highway Safety Network. And this is an annual request that we also wrote a letter for last year.
Questions for Allison on this one? Let's move back to Thursday. And
Okay.
Allison, you have big news on the other one. Big news in air quotes. But,
Yes, absolutely. So we are we're requesting approval today to submit an advertisement for the 2023 sale of county-owned assets in the Altoona Mirror. And so we're just preparing the ad for that. So I actually, for my timeline and how everything's working, I will ask if you guys can approve that today if possible so I can have the ad submitted by Friday.
well, it is yard sale season, so.
I know. Exciting.
And is there a motion to approve the submission for the second?
Mr. Webster, I'll make that motion.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second?
All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. It's approved. Everybody be on the lookout for details.
Thank you.
Thank
Got
you.
some stuff I can donate.
No, we don't need any more. We found enough.
No, I saw the things that our office is donating toward it. It was an interesting mix, is all I can say.
If you need any cookie tins, this is your place. Yeah.
There,
Okay.
there is something for everyone.
There is,
Yeah.
it is literally,
That's for sure.
it's a wide array, is what, big yard sale. So. Item L,
I don't necessarily, Alice, I'm going to look at you. Item L, is Paul still investigating that? Should we hold it till Thursday? Yeah.
we'll hold that till
A
Thursday
little
then.
bit more work on that one.
All right, there is no old business, so we've reached the end of our agenda. We're going to adjourn at this time and thank everyone for their participation in today's meeting.
Wednesday.